It takes courage to be funny because sometimes people think, what will others think of me if I behave silly or stupid? So it takes courage to be yourself, right? Okay. Welcome all of you to the courage workshop. Who here is courageous? Who here has fear? You have fear? Good. You? You? Yes, we all have fear. Hmm? And when we walk through our fear, then it's called courage. So a courageous person is not someone who will take a rat and just throw it like that. A courageous person is somewhat like Santosh, who walks into a space and sees a rat and faces it. And eventually he moves it. Right, Santosh? So my name is Gita. What's your name? Anna? Estella? Estella? Esteban. Okay. And you? Juana? Tijuana? Howard? David? Yara? Ah, Marinda, we know you very well. Yes, yeah. And Wanda and Lisa. Okay. So welcome. Kaylin and myself will facilitate this workshop. I am in a state of courage in doing this workshop. Courage is walking with me, honestly. So, how do you emerge your courage? You take the fear, it's there, and when you do it anyway, then it's transformed to courage. It takes courage to go through an illness, right? It takes courage to face my own demons inside. It's the greatest courage. Because many people don't check and their insides. They do this for the whole of their lives. It's your fault. You did this. But it takes courage to go inside to say, what have I contributed to this relationship going bad? Did I do? How could I have done something different? Right? Instead of blaming. And I had to do that when my marriage of 20 years, my husband just, whatever. And when I looked back at my story, I see what I contributed to his making that decision. It's always a two-way street because he also contributed something that made me tired of having him around. And I also contributed something that made him tired of having me around. Yeah? Now we're the best of friends. So courage. Who here has seen The Wizard of Oz? Good. We should have a movie night telling you the spiritual story behind The Wizard of Oz. And who was the scared one in that movie? Who was so scared? Looking at that tells us our own story. A fearful person is really, really a courageous person. But you have to activate the courage. You have to move against the wind of fear for it to become muscles of courage. An example. I was in Oxford and there was a team of, many of you probably have heard this story before, a team of psychiatrists, right? And my senior sister, Didi Sudesh, who has such a powerful vision, she looks at you and you feel elevated, peaceful, honestly. And And so she was the one, just like tonight's program. I think I was probably the one to give this talk. And she just turned around and looked at me and said, Gita, go on up and speak. And I lost my stage. How could you? You're the yogi. I am young in this knowledge. I don't know anything. You're the one that knows. And she detached her mind away from my waste thoughts. And she sent me good wishes. And I walked on the stage, and I swear, I myself was surprised of the things that came from here. So that fear of speaking before psychiatrists, because I feel psychiatrists are the most judgmental, people. They're always looking out for aberrations or, little things. Even your hand gesture, they see something in it. Yeah? So I had this fear of going up. And when I went up, actually everything went away. Fear can also be removed by honesty. I have been in situations where I was afraid. And I say to God, I am scared as hell. I am scared. And this light, warmth, and courage just gave me a bath in my soul. And I went up and I actually shared my weakness with the crowd. I said I was so scared to come up and talk before all of you because I know this and this and this and this. And everyone in that crowd embraced me because they said, Gita, I have the same problem. So there was this honesty actually helps us to remove fear. My class this morning, we have an advanced class here at the museum, and it said, do not hide anything from God. Do not hide anything, because if you hide or you speak lies, it separates you from you. It separates you from your truth. Does that resonate with you? Yes, it is true. So find a space, speak to God of your truth, tell Him the things inside, and it takes you out of suppression. It helps to take you out of suppression. Suppression is very, very, very bad. Meaning, most people that end up with certain diseases, it starts off because of suppression. So little by little you can create this little dialogue with whoever you see as God. Yeah? Open up your heart. So Kaylin and I made a list today of our little things and you bring it out on paper, it becomes less. When I keep it inside, it becomes rubbish. You let it out, it's a cleansing is taking place. I find I shared with the people here today when I lived in Canada and I wanted to come to the US. I was a young woman and so I got whatever I wanted because I was young and attractive. And I wanted to come to the US. I tried. I made 2 efforts to come, and I was turned back by the customs people. So I met this man who was transporting cars over to America, and I gave him smiles and all of that, smiles and in a sense, and he offered to take me across on one of the cars and in this big truck, and I got to come to the US. That was then. Was that courage or was that foolhardiness? What was it? Because I would never do that now. I would never think of it. So many things I did in my youthful days, which was borderline crazy. Now that I'm older and wiser, I use more courage than stupidity. Because suppose I was caught in that car. Hmm? Hmm? So courage is something that you can develop because it's one of your natural qualities. It's in all of us. So you're afraid of singing, you're afraid of dancing. We have a dancer in the house. You're afraid of dancing, do it. You don't have to be a great dancer to dance. Just dance from inside out. And don't care what other people are saying. That's courage. Hmm? That is a part of courage. So what would you like to do? Something in your life you would like to manifest. Tell me. And right. Right. And not caring what other people say. Yeah, it doesn't matter, right? Makes you happy. Okay? What would you like to do, Esteban? Hiking. Have you done it? Yeah, so start it. Yeah. What about you? Wow. Beautiful. May it happen in reality for you. How would? What would you like to do that you haven't done yet? We know you've danced and so on, but what else? You've done it all. Okay. Mm. You can do it. Do it. David? Acha. Mm. Mm. Beautiful. Yes, so we are all sending you blessings from the heart that you do that. Mm. Beautiful. Beautiful. I endorse that 100% because I know what foster caring is. I was a foster child till I was adopted, so I know what that is. Go ahead, do it. Tell me. Yes, we. Yes. Yes. You can do it. You can do it. Just don't think about anything. What will people think if they go in and see the clutter? Hire someone to do it. Doesn't matter. Okay? All right. Anyone else? Okay. So I'm going to read. We talked about the Wizard of Oz, right? And you remember that lion was so afraid of everything. Hmm? And why was he afraid? Wrong thinking. Can you imagine a lion being afraid? Huh? No courage? So look at it again. It's the story of all of us. It's our thinking that keeps us from emerging our courage. Self-doubt, thinking about what the other person's saying, attachment. You want to do something but you're attached because the other person is not going your side. They have another story, but your story is different from theirs. Yeah? So think about the things you want to do, take power from God and do it anyway. Okay? So that poor lion hollered and screamed. Right? Did you see it? He hollered and screamed. Oh my goodness. And we do that too. We holler and scream. All we have to do is take power from God. Okay, I'm going to read from Companion of God. I will get to that in 2 minutes. And it's written by one of the world's wisdom keeper, Daddy Yankee. Daddy Yankee is known to have the most powerful mind in the world. How did she make her mind so powerful? She takes her mind and intellect to God. She takes power from God. I met her about 30 years ago, and she shared a lot of things with me prior to her having this powerful mind. So, Companion of God, powerful mind, and the topic is courage. I need courage to remain true to myself. In today's artificial world, this is not a small thing. I beg your pardon, yes, it's 39, page 39. However, the very purpose of a spiritual study is to restore our courage. Restore, so it means we had it. Now what has happened? To restore our courage. The courage to stand for what you believe in. My original true nature is of peace and divinity. To experience this is to be convinced of the absolute value of my intrinsic worth. I can face my opposition with the strength of my convictions. Many people have difficulty believing in their higher self. Others simply no longer believe in the future. Self-realization removes doubts. My original nature is peace. I am not a slave to my personality traits. I am their creator. So I created my own weaknesses. I am their creator. I am a spectator as well as an actor in the drama of life. Whatever is happening to me right now is beneficial. Whatever is happening is beneficial. So, as I incorporate these truths into my life, my courage will never fail me. She's 98 years old, and she travels around the world more than us young ones. You're looking at her. You know someone 98 years old? Hacha. Yes. And such energy. 4 feet 10 inches. But a mind. She walks in this room and you feel as though you're under a canopy of protection just through her vibrations. When I first met her, I looked in her eyes and my soliloquy was, I know if God had eyes and looked at me, this is the love that I would feel. And she attributes all of this from God. She doesn't take credit. That is her power. She says, I got this all from God Supreme. You can look her up on the website and she will share with you lots of spiritual knowledge. Now that is a courageous woman. 98 years old and travels all over the world. Wow, with a little suitcase and an ocean of wisdom. My. Okay, so wonderful book, Companion of God. I'll have Kalen come and share his insights on courage. He's being very courageous. He has a situation and he's moving through it with courage. I also have a situation. Who doesn't have a situation sitting in this room? Some of us, it's with our health. Some of us, it's relationships. The four dynamics of life, whatever I gave my greatest attention to, thinking that was me, will give me my biggest test. For me, it was my body. For someone else, it might be their position, yeah, their profession. For someone else, it's relationship. You know, so whatever I give, that false identity will be my biggest test for me to let go, to go inside and check who I am really. Who am I? It takes courage to admit your weaknesses. It takes a lot of courage to say, I can't go any further. Although you have courage, but to open up and say, I can't go any further. I need help. You know that song? I get by with a little help from my friend. It takes courage to be honest. So don't be afraid to be honest and true, because your natural quality, as Daddy stated here, is purity, peace, love, bliss, and truth. This is your reality. And I'm going to have the lawyer prove those points at some point in time. And what trips us up are these five. Think about it. Anger, lust, greed, attachment, and ego. Always. Think about it, attorney. Get a case going against these five energies versus this and tell me who's guilty. Okay? When next we meet, you tell me. Yeah? So this is what creates your fears, these things. Anger, lust, greed, attachment, ego. These, purity, peace, love, bliss. So now we want to make the effort. I want to develop this side more. I want to develop this side more. Yeah? So do good actions. Don't give anyone sorrow. Don't take sorrow from anyone. Now that takes a lot of courage, because we easily take sorrow. We might not give, but we easily take. So, don't give, don't take. All right? Try and perform as many good acts as you can during the day. So when you go to bed at night, you can say, God, I'm handing these over to you. I did these acts. If I made any mistake, I'm handing this over to you too. He doesn't mind, because he's forgiving. So it takes courage to be in touch with where you're at and start from there. Okay? All right. I was in the presence of a yogi in Miami, Florida, and this yogi has been studying for about 50 years. And before this big crowd, she says, I still haven't got full understanding of what it means to be a soul. I still don't have the full understanding of who I am. My heart opened up this big with love for her honesty. So she didn't, pretend, hey, I'm 50 years. And she says, I still haven't got total clarity on who I am. So when the truth comes to you, when someone is honest and straightforward, your love develops for them. It's like God. God is so open and truthful to us. He tells you, hey, you're beautiful, but you also have these qualities. He doesn't love you any less. by telling you the truth, both sides. You have these beautiful qualities. However, you also have these. And he gives us the strength, if we remember him, to remove them.